Jake never thought his life would become so complicated. At 17, the world was supposed to be opening up for him, filled with possibility and excitement. But all Jake could feel was the weight of his family's expectations pressing down on him like a suffocating blanket. You see, Jake is in love with Sam, his classmate, but his conservative family would never approve. And knowing that has turned his life into a quiet battlefield. Jake met Sam during sophomore year. At first, it was just passing glances in the hallways, small smiles exchanged during group projects, the kind of connection that feels effortless. But it wasn't long before Jake realized he felt something more. Sam made him laugh harder than anyone else, listened to him with no judgment, and saw Jake for who he really was, not just the kid his parents wanted him to be. But love doesn't exist in a vacuum. At home, Jake was someone else entirely, a kid raised in a deeply traditional household. His parents believed in staying true to their values, values that had no room for being openly queer. They weren't cruel people, but their world was small, their views rigid, and the silent expectations were clear. Don't rock the boat, follow the rules, make us proud. Jake's siblings were hardworking, straight-laced, and everything his parents praised. Jake was supposed to be the same. One evening, everything came to a head. Jake's mom was folding laundry, chatting about the relatives planning to visit for Thanksgiving. His dad sat nearby, thumbing through the news on his phone. Jake's heart was beating out of his chest, knowing he couldn't keep it hidden forever. I wanted to talk to you about something, Jake began, his voice unsteady. His mom looked up, already sensing hesitation. What is it, honey? Jake hesitated. The image of Sam flashed in his head. All their quiet late-night talks, hands brushing against one another under the table at the diner, the way Sam whispered, "I believe in you," when Jake doubted himself. And for a moment, Jake wanted to say it, to rip the Band-Aid off. But the words died in his throat. "A friend from school invited me for dinner next weekend," Jake said instead, painfully aware of his cowardice. He knew what they'd say if he mentioned Sam, what their reactions would be if he told the truth. "Good," his mom replied with a tight smile. "That's nice. Good to hear you're making good friends." Jake nodded and excused himself, retreating to his room. He sat on his bed and stared at his phone screen until his vision blurred. The guilt gnawed at him. Guilt for not being honest. Guilt for hiding Sam like some secret shame. Jake had spent too long trying to fit into a family that would never truly accept him as he was. But how could he possibly break free without losing them altogether? Desperate for answers, Jake did something he'd never done before. He opened an anonymous forum online and wrote, "What's the right thing to do when your family won't accept the person you love? I can't imagine losing my boyfriend, but I also can't imagine my family turning their backs on me. How do I navigate this? How do I stay true to myself without losing everyone I care about?" It was a cry for help, a plea to strangers. He didn't know what he was expecting, but the responses poured in quickly. Each message offered something different: support, advice, stories of similar struggles. Jake read every word, tears streaming down his face. It wasn't the solution, but for once, he felt seen. The next day, Jake met Sam at the park after school. Sam could tell immediately that something was wrong. Without asking, they wrapped their arms around Jake and held him close. "You don't have to figure it out all at once," Sam whispered. "You'll find your way. I believe in you." Jake looked up at them, his chest heavy but his heart full. He didn't have the answers yet, but with Sam's love and the support of people who understood, he felt, just maybe, that he wouldn't have to lose everything to find acceptance. Jake needs your guidance now. How can he stay true to himself while dealing with his family's disapproval? Share your advice in the comments below.